are underway at the Brighton 10K, taking place the same morning that the Brighton Marathon was taking place. We are on board with D Mills, my older brother. He is shooting for his first ever sub-37 10K today. His PB, a 37.04 back in January, means he only needs to find 5 seconds. And he did nobly admit that was probably a short course, so he would like a legitimate 10K PB today. The average pace he needs to achieve this dream is around 3:42 per kilometre, and as usual, racing down on the south coast, I'm sure a lot of you will have seen many races down here by now. The wind will play a factor today. It's blowing him along at the moment, but at the turnaround point around halfway, it will be in his face. Also today, compared to the Brighton Hove 10K that takes place in November that has basically no hills, you do go a little bit into town in this one, so it is a wee hill for D Mills to contend with. Early doors, I am happy that D Mills got himself fairly near the front, so he's already going along live pace 3:45 per kilometre. He's not being held up at all, so he can settle down into a nice early rhythm. And this is absolutely beautiful to see, ladies and gentlemen. He is not content with sticking behind these runners. That guy in the blue top coming through. D Mills tries to follow him through past quite a few runners here. Brief surge to 3:35 per kilometre, overtaking 3 or 4 people. Usually the king of conservative starts and picking it up in the second half. He can't really do that today as the headwind will make it very hard to do that. So he's going to try and evenly split this. 3:40 per K on the live pace. That's where he needs to be to sneak under 37. Keep at it, D. And he's doing a very good job at holding his pace at the moment. There's quite a few runners coming from behind. The guy in the Fulham top there. There's also someone in a white vest just a few places ahead of him that's coming through. He's not going with them. He's just holding that 3:40. There's also a pack forming a little bit ahead as well that he might want to get involved with, but no, just holding that pace. That is the best thing to do at this stage, less than a kilometre into the race. And good evening, fine sir, in the pink Adios Pro 4s, I believe. Will D Mills try and hold with him or just let him go? He's letting him go despite a slight surge to 3:35 per K. And at 1K, what a statement that is from D. A 3-minute 40. 9 more of them and the roof will come off the Brighton Pier. And he is still having to control that pace as Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3 sneaks on through. And of course, you know me, I am praying D Mills gets all of these people overtaking him back in the home straight later. I've got your numbers. I hope D Mills does too. 1.5K in now, almost 1 mile. A straggler from the group ahead falling towards D, having a look, sees the Passion Prince coming. Let's see if D can start the overtaking and not being overtaken train now. Oh, no. Guy in the yellow Hokers has now moved ahead of D, and orange top, I reckon he's picked that pace up a little bit as well. Knows he's on TV, can't blame him. But the live pace is 3:40 per K still. That's exactly what we want. So this is going extremely well so far. 1 mile in, just the 5 to go. Lads, what are you doing running away from D? That wasn't part of the plan. Get your bottoms back here. We need to use you as a windbreak very shortly. Absolute bastards. But D goes through 2K in 3:43, just the 1 second off the perfect 3:42s that he needs. And if you point your eyes down to the bottom left of the screen, he is 1 second ahead of a 36:59 at 2K. But it's all change please. We are now almost at 3K, turning left into the slightly uphill section. We have a brand new group of friends to work with now. We've got Red Alphas, we've got London's Children Charity, we've got White Vests. Can D stick with them up a hill? It's another 3:43 in that 3rd kilometre, so a second lost, meaning he's bang on level with a 36:59 at 3K. And this 4th K is now very important to hold that pace best he can, and he's even overtaking someone. This is not seen very often. He hasn't got to push for very long. It's only a 15-metre hill, and you can almost see the top already. He just needs to sit in behind these two now. And he is continuing to cling on to Red Alphas here, even making another overtake there on the chap to the right. He is then overtaken by Super Blast 3s. But this is so far not the worst hill ever to cross D Mills' path. Super Blast 3 quickly flies well ahead of him, but Damo's just about stuck with Red Alphas, who's then pushing and making a surge as he sees the downhill. D-Mills following him through past that lady on the right. That little nuisance of a hill is over. D-Mills can now get back into trying to get down towards 340 per K. As at the moment, down the hill, a little surge to 310 to make sure he can stick with this pack, as it might be important soon. You can see the wind blowing on those high five signs. We get to enjoy it for another 1.5 kilometers, and then it's going to be really testing. As the elevation settles down, Red Alphas has been replaced by another chap in Red Alphas. White Vest is also just with us, but I would like to see D getting back to OG Red Alphas, as he just looks very sub 37 to me. Damo's gonna skip forward now. Yep, he is 4.9k, and I'm very grateful. He must have moved past those two. He is back to OG Red Alphas. We are at the 5k turnaround point. I'm not sure this is exactly the 5k turnaround point. It's very close, but we go through now. Oh, it's absolutely beautiful. A masterclass in turning from D, but then look, the wind, listen, is coming towards us. There's the 5k sign, which we are gonna go through just outside 1830. It's exactly 1830 if we believe where that map was, but it's about 1833 where the sign was. But either or, we are very, very close to sub 37 pace here. Our 4th K with the hill was a 347. That's actually quite a bit better than I thought it was going to be. Listen to that wind, though. It's pretty ferocious. Puma Farstar struggling to keep his hat on. And the 5th K was smack on the money from our king, a 340. And going off D's watch at least, which was very close to reality where the signs were anyway, D is 3 seconds behind that 36.59. And he's got a lot of work to do into this headwind, but at least he has a brief downhill section to enjoy in this 6th kilometer. And down at the boys' head, 335 per kilometer. Damo's heart rate, I have just seen, has hit 190. I think this might be one of those days that we're going to have to hit 200 to have any hope of getting a PB today. He is holding his own with Red Alpha still. And now I'm questioning whether those are Fast R's or Deviate Nitro 3s, or Elite 3s. Either way, Damo needs to get right behind them. This wind is absolutely no joke, and actually the fact that we've come even closer to the seafront for the headwind section is not hee-hee. Time could start disappearing quite fast. Slight skip forward to 3.6, and you can see Blue Top and Fast R's, I'm gonna call him definitely now, have got the same idea. They are right in behind Red Alphas. Damo is just a little bit back from them. He's got to surge a little bit to get there. Come on, D, you've got to be a little bitch and get him behind there to steal that slipstream. But while D is contemplating his life, I would like to thank today's sponsor of the video, Invigorate Electrolytes. With spring temperatures creeping up, all three of us have now been taking them. Me especially, as I'm heading towards London Marathon this week. And with temperatures looking like creeping towards the mid to maybe high teens, my lofty ambitions of a sub 2 hour 50 marathon would not be possible, I do not think, without taking electrolytes. And Invigorate Electrolytes give 500 milligrams of sodium per serving, which sits right in the range recommended to replace what you lose through sweat in your harder efforts. They give a performance-focused electrolyte mix, no sugar, no calories, no fillers, so I can do my fueling separately. They're naturally flavored using real fruit. They're made in the UK, and they cost just 25p per serving. And look at D-Mills pushing so hard to get back to that group. Invigorate absolutely love that. So they have a special bundle, 2 flavors and their bottle with a 25% code, CMR25. You get all of that for just £33, which will fuel you for around 6 months. So click the link below, put in code CMR25 to get your Invigorate today. But back to the rascal that is D-Mills, hitting 7k now, and he skipped overtaking those 3 lads because he's just an absolute cockwomble. He plans where he's going to record in his mind before, so if something interesting happens, not in those planned segments, he just doesn't record them. His heart rate has also just hit 205 briefly. Right, let's have a look at some splits to see how close we are. 6k out of 340, me likey. Oh, but we've seen a decent drop off there in that 7th K, a 348. That's why D had to make the move. And we have some serious work to do in this final third of the race. He's 7 seconds behind. He's still going into that headwind. The final 800 meters, I believe, will be with a tailwind. And he's got to leave himself with a chance when he gets there. I'm not much enjoying the live pace, 4 flat per kilometer. There was a tiny hill there he did just go through. He's catching up this lady just ahead in Vaporfly 4s, I believe she's wearing. Come on, D, do it for your fans all over the world. 35 people watched our content last month in Japan, Jamaica, and Thailand. Do it for them, D-Mills. And he's got the memo. He feels the love. He moves past Vaporfly 4s. 345 per K now. He's got to keep pushing that down towards 340. And I think I can see the Fulham runner from earlier. And Damo's definitely catching that group ahead up as he closes in on the I-360 towards the end of this 8th kilometer. Hopefully, when we see that 8th kilometer sign, we will be able to work out how close Damo's watch is to reality. That wind is not pretty, and it has caused an extremely ugly 8th kilometer, a 3:51, 9 seconds lost, and 16 seconds needed to catch up in these final 2Ks. And with our helpful friend ChatGPT, he went through 8K in 30 minutes and 9 seconds. He just needs to drop 3:26 per kilometer until the end now, so basically 17 flat 5K pace. That might prove quite tricky, but if anyone's going to give it a go, it is D. He's closing in on the Fulham runner ahead. He's back down to live pace of 340 per K. He can only give it his best. What do we have here?
Go on, David.
Go on, Damo.
Go on, lad. Woo!
Thank you, Will and Liv, for that gorgeous, crisp footage of D-Mills hunting down Fulham runner. And with about a mile to go, he is in a nice little pack here, still holding around 340 per K. Into the headwind, that is bloody good going. As the death coughs begin to echo around Brighton seafront. And you can tell he's beginning to get racy. Is he going to move past all 3 of these? There's a big gap to any more runners ahead. He's going to have to run very hard to catch them up. But he makes the move. Is he going to run alongside them or make a bold and decisive move to end their careers? Yes, that's the D-Mills we love. He takes the lead of the group. But I was hoping he was going to get out of this headwind into the tailwind for the final 800 meters. But looking where he is now and when the turnaround's going to be, I imagine it will only be 400 or 500 meters. That is rather unfortunate, and the pace is dropping 345 per K. This headwind is just gradually wearing all these poor runners out. Good luck, marathon runners approaching in a couple of hours' time. But D is certainly quickly catching the guy in the blue vest ahead. But it looks like he's potentially felt the Passion Prince's presence and has pushed on himself. He goes through 9K, and it's a very solid 344 in a headwind. But unfortunately, that is 2 seconds lost to the goal. That is 18 seconds to find in this final kilometer, and that's off his watch anyway. He went through in around 33:55, so I think he needs to do a 3:05 final kilometer to go under 37. That could be too much even for the Passion Print, but remember his PB is a 37:04, so that's 5 seconds leeway, so a 3:10 for a PB? We'll see very soon anyway. Just try and put on a show and overtake as many as possible, D. And he is certainly trying. He has caught his way up behind Blue Vest, around 600 or 700 meters to go. And finally, very soon, he will be out of this horrific headwind. Finally, he is there, turning left again, onto the promenade. That headwind turns into a tailwind, and he is already kicking hard, picking that pace up to 3:10 per kilometer, but so is Blue Vest. Damo is tracking his every move, hurtling along the promenade towards the seafront. They are holding 3:10 to 3:15 per K, and Blue Vest is definitely no slouch. There is definitely a nice bounce in his stride. They might be beginning to catch someone in a white top just ahead of them, though. Come on, D. Forget about the 203 heart rate. Just pretend you're in zone 2. 207, 209 heart rate. Oh my God, I've never seen it get to 210. But Blue Vest is getting away from us. You can hear how much he is desperately trying to stay with him, but he just can't do it. Back down down to 3:10 per kilometre. The final few hundred metres, you can see the finish line. You can see the clock just going over 37 in a few seconds. It's so tough to see. He was oh so close. But how close to his PB can he get? Blue Vest, I think, is just a little bit too far away.
Go, Damo!
One last kick from home, Damo. Can you sneak any of these two on the line? I think he's spent, ladies and gentlemen. He's put his everything into that. He comes across the line in 37:23 or 24. He basically walks over the line at the end. A spent man, a brilliant effort. And although it wasn't a PB, it was an official PB, as the New Haven race where he did his 10k PB is not considered an official race and was also probably a little bit short. But on a very hard day for running, that's a very good effort from D. That sub 37 is certainly coming soon on a better day. And you don't have to wait long for more D Mills action. He will be back on Thursday or Friday with a park run that he wasn't meant to be doing. Certainly not going quick anyway. But D Mills does not like to be controlled. So we will see you then. And then this Sunday, it's just the little London Marathon that I will be taking part in. Trying to break 2 hours and 50 minutes is going to be bloody hard. But you will be there with me every step of the way. I've bought a separate camera so I can record about an hour and 45 of footage. I cannot bloody wait. We'll see you then.